RESPECT. Respect. Find out what it means to me. Yeah. How do you get respect? You're the boss. How do you get respect from your employees? How do you build a culture of respect? That's a better question. How do you build a culture of respect with your team? That's what we're going to dive in here today on the Build Your Team show. Welcome, everyone. I am your host, Satiba. And if you are looking to build a solid team to grow your business, you're in the right place, because that's what we talk about all day long. So let's dive into this topic, because this is one of my favorites, because it's so critical. It's so critical. And it's not about just respecting you as the boss. It's about creating a culture of respect. You know, I talk all the time, when you're hiring and when you're bringing people in, you want to hire first for fit. Now, what does that really mean? Hire first for fit. Do they fit in your company culture? Well, how do you know if they fit in your company culture? Well, one of the biggest ways to know that if they fit in your company culture or not is, what are your values? What do you value in your company? Now, I know this is cliche. People throw this all around, values, and I've been in tons of organizations where they had values up on the wall and nobody ever cared. It was just a plaque, or it was just a poster on the wall. It was just some words on a page. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually talking about you as a person. What are the things that you value, that you actually stand for? What are the things that you're actually behind and that exude out of you as the boss, as the owner, that then also are a part of your company? Okay, that are part of your company. So I'm not just talking about some fluffy words on the wall. So, for example, with us, everyone who works for us knows our first value is we value relationships over sales. We value relationships over sales. So I'm going to value the mess out of you. I get that you can come in here and do good work, and the work that you're going to do is going to make us sales and make us money and so on and so forth. That's awesome. But I value my relationship with you more than anything else. I value my relationship with you more than anything else. And when do I tell you that? And this is the key. This is the key. So you want to build a culture of respect. This is the key. The culture of respect starts at the job description. It starts at the moment in time that they see your job description and they begin reading. They begin reading your job description. In the job description, near the top of my job description, I start talking about what we value. What we value. And I let them know these are our values. And it starts off with, we value relationships over sales. Okay, we value relationships over sales, because now here's this. What I am doing there is I am giving the prospective employee, they're not even an employee yet, I'm giving the prospective employee the opportunity to hold me accountable for the fact that I care. That I care. I'm telling you, measure me by the fact that I care and show you how much I care. Measure me by the culture that we've created that makes you feel that bond of caring, that we care about this relationship. You see, in order to gain respect, as we create a culture, it doesn't matter what your values are. What it matters is that you have them and that you stick to them and that you mean them and that you display them and that your employees can hold you accountable to them. See, that's the challenge with the value statements that people post up on the walls that are just there as pretty posters, that they pay a design firm tons of money to make look really pretty. They're just on the wall. They're just on the wall. If you don't embody those every day, in every moment, in every situation, then your employees won't trust you. Then your employees won't respect you. Yeah, they might up front a bit, but after time, they'll start to realize, yeah, what you're saying is just a bunch of crap. Like, you don't really mean a lot of stuff that you say. And that's the moment in time where your culture starts to break down. That's the moment in time when your culture really, really starts to break down. So for me, let me tell you what this looks like for us. Okay. And we're going to do probably a series on this topic because there's so many different facets of it. And I'm just talking about just one even of our values, right? We value relationships over sales. So what am I saying here? It means that I take time every single week, every couple of days with my direct reports to find out what's going on in their lives. What's really going on, not superficial, not how are you, what's really going on in their lives. Now, I hear some interesting stories and I hear some stuff. I'm like, wow, you really told me that. Yeah, that's what it means to value relationships. Because I want them to know that I care about more than just them doing the work. I realize that by me caring about who they are makes them better employees, makes them do better work. So I value those relationships. And likewise, I want them to value the relationships and the work that they're doing with our customer. I want them to value that. And I can't ask them to value that if I don't first model it to them. If I don't show them what this looks like. Because when I do, then they say, that's the standard. That's what we need to live up to. And that's what they attempt to attain. You see, there's an old axiom. And the axiom says that your staff will do what you do and less. They'll never do more than you. For your business, they'll never do more than you. And so stop thinking that they will. They'll do at most what you do and less. So you are the standard bearer. You want to have a culture of respect in your organization. You have to set that standard. You have to define what respect means for you. And you have to give that level of respect to your employees in order for you to receive it back. That's the key, guys. That's the key right there. That's the key to building great organizations and great company culture right there, is understanding what is it that I truly value and actually making that real on a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis. On a day-to-day, moment-by-moment basis. It also means having the self-control, and I'm telling you this because this is from own perspective, is also means having the self-control to understand where situations may happen and your reaction can jeopardize, right? Your reaction can jeopardize the culture. Let me give you an example of what I'm saying. Let's say you value, like me, relationships over sales, okay? Here's a real situation that happened. So someone didn't turn in a timesheet. Okay. They didn't turn in a timesheet. And so I sent a message saying, hey, what's going on? Didn't get a timesheet. And they're a virtual employee and we check in about every 3 days or so. Okay. And they said, oh, I'm sorry. I got sick and didn't complete my hours this week, so I didn't turn in a timesheet. Well, right there as the boss, I'm like, hold on. So you didn't do your client work and you didn't let anybody know? That's your reaction because you realize, hey, we got a major problem here. Whoa, we got a major problem. And in that moment, you can react in that way. And most people will tell you you're justified to react in that way. But if you value, like I do, relationships over sales, my next question was, oh my gosh, you're sick. What happened? Tell me what's going on. How are you feeling now? I had to have the self-control in that moment to remember, hey, we value relationships over sales. And so care more about the relationship, care more about the person. Figure out what's going on with the person, which I did. And it turned out that it sounds like she probably got COVID and she was knocked out and she really couldn't respond, right? And my statement to her was, oh my gosh, that is so awful. I'm so sorry that you've gone through that. And, next time, if you could, just send me any message to let me know that this is going on. Doesn't need to be long-winded, just anything, just to communicate with me so that we can cover you. So we can cover you. Okay. Now, what message did that send to the employee? She didn't turn in a timesheet. She didn't finish her work. I cared first about her health, that she said she had an issue. Now, I'm not at all saying that we didn't then turn around and address the timesheet and address the fact that you didn't do your work. No. I'm still going to address those things. But first, I'm going to address the human, and I'm going to address the relationship, and I'm going to make sure that the human, my employee, is in a good place. And then we'll deal with the rest. Oh, well, Atiba, doesn't that make you a sucker? I mean, what if, so next week when she comes back and she has some other excuse, then yeah. If she shows a pattern, guess what? Then we let her go. That's also valuing the relationship over sales. We value the relationship. Okay? You let her go. If she shows a pattern and, she keeps disappearing or But I haven't had this issue with this employee before, so I'm hopefully this was an isolated incident because she was scared out of her mind and she had COVID. Okay. We understand that's extenuating circumstances. People make mistakes. See, that's valuing relationships. Now, I'm not telling you that you have to have my values. What I am saying is you've got to figure out what your values are, and you've got to stand on them. You got to write them down. You've got to make them plain. You got to let everybody in the company know, and you got to talk about it often. We'll cover that on another recording that I'm going to do for you on this topic, but it's important. If you want to gain respect, you've got to talk about your values often. Okay. Talk about your values often. So check out this. I'm going to do another video for you, and we're going to link it up above. So check that out, and I'm going to do that, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye, everybody.